Good afternoon to one and all present over here. I am Mr. A.G. Ignatius, Assistant Professor of Department of Information Technology, and I was allotted the subject CS3391 Object Oriented Programming for second year IT students. First, we'll see the course outcomes for this subject. So, whenever the student completes the study of this subject, they can have the following course outcomes. First course outcomes tells us about the concept of classes and objects to solve the simple problems. Second course outcome tells us about the concepts of inheritance, packages, and interfaces which is used in Java programming. Third course outcomes deals with the exception handling mechanisms and multi-threaded applications. Fourth course outcomes deals with building Java applications with the IO packages, string classes, and the generic concepts. And the last course outcome deals with the concept of event handling and creating Java FX components and controls for this GUI based applications. Now coming on to the syllabus, first unit covers introduction about OOPS, that is object oriented programming and basics of Java. Second unit covers about the concepts of inheritance, packages and interfaces. Third unit tells us about exception handling and multi-threading concepts. Fourth unit deals with IO input and output classes, generic classes and various string handling methods. And the last syllabus deals with the Java FX event handling, controls and components. Now first we'll see about the structure of Java program. So now you can see in this we have a simple program. First we have the class name. So that is class simple. Name of the class is simple. Next we have the main method, public static void main, and inside the main method you have a print statement which says as Java world. Now in order to compile this program, the command used is javac space the program name dot java. In Java, we need to save the program using the main class. In the above example program, the class which is above the main method is called as a main class. Here, the simple is a main class. So you have to save the program in name of the main class. So to compile javac space simple dot java and to execute simply java space simple. So when you execute the above program, the output will be, it will just print the words Java world. Now first we see each and every components of this particular basic programming structure. First one is class. Class is a keyword which is used to declare a class in Java. And public is an access specifier or access modifier which represents the visibility of the class to all other parts of the program. Static is another keyword. When we declare using the keyword as static, it is known as the static method. That means the values which you give inside this particular method will not change and remain constant. Next is void. Void is the return type of the method. That is, it does not return any value. Then main represents a starting point of the program. String args is for command line argument. And at last, system.out.println is used for the printing statement. Variables in Java. Variables are nothing but that are containers that store some data in memory. It has three main components, that is the data type, variable name and value. Data type means what type of data is going to be stored. It can be either integer, string or float, etc. Then variable name is a unique identifier which follows the Java naming rules. And at last value, that is the actual data which is going to be assigned to the variable. Now for example, we have integer variable. So int age equal to 25. So int is a data type, that is integer, age is the variable name and the 25 is the value which is being assigned. Next is the example of string variable. So here we have given it as string name equal to welcome. So here the string is the data type name is the name of the variable, and welcome is the corresponding value which is being assigned to it. Next we'll see about defining class in Java. A class is the core of the Java. It is a template for an object. We can also say an object is an instance of a class. It is declared by using the keyword class. Now you can see the syntax given here. Class space the class name, and inside it you can declare various number of variables. Now we see an example program. Okay. So you can see here we have a class called box, and inside it there are three variables which is being declared. That is double width, double height, and double depth. And next we have another class box demo, and inside that we have the main method public static void main string args. So that means box demo is the main class, and class box, that is a subclass. Now inside the main method we have created an object using the subclass name box. My box is equal to new box. Then we have declared another fourth variable, that is double wall, that is volume. Next three statements, here we assign the values to the created variables. So three variables which are being already created are the width, height, and depth, for which the values which are given are width is 10, height is 20, and depth is 15. Next we write the statement to compute the volume of box. So volume, that is wall, equal to just the multiplication of the three variables, that is mybox.width into mybox.height into mybox.depth. And at last we can able to print the volume in the print statement. So we have given inside the print statement, that is the volume is plus wall. So when we execute this particular program, we can see the output now. So you can see in this particular screen, as I said earlier, to compile Java C space the program name. Here the program name is boxdemo.java. In case if there is any error, it will show the error at this particular stage. Now in this program there is no error, so automatically the cursor will be coming over here. Then we have to run the program, that is Java space box demo. You can see the volume is 3000 because I have already assigned the value in the program itself. It is going to simply multiply those three variables, that is the length, width, and height, to get the volume. So this is the output of the previous program which we have seen. Next we see the what is called as methods. You can see the syntax given over here, type name and the parameter list, and within the parenthesis we have the body of the method. So here the type specifies the type of data that is being returned by the method. If the method does not return any value, then it must be given as by default void. The name of the method is specified by the name, and the parameter list is a sequence of types and the identifier pairs separated by the commas. Now you can see in this particular example program for method. So again we have the class box, and there are three variables again, that is width, height, and depth, followed by a method. So void volume. So by default they given the keyword as void. So void volume, and inside that method there are two print statements. One is just printing the statement as volume is. The second print statement, it is going to calculate the volume. That is simply multiplication of width, height, and depth. Then we have the next class called as the class box demo 3. So you can see here again we have the main method public static void main. So this class box demo 3 is the main class, and class box is a subclass. So we create two objects using the subclass name, that is mybox1 and mybox2. So there are two objects which is being created, and then next is we are going to assign the values for first object, that is a mybox1. So we need to reference the object with the variables. So that's why it is written as mybox1.width, and the value is 10. So mybox1 is the first object, dot width is a variable which is being declared in the subclass. Similarly, mybox1.height, which is equal to 20, and mybox1.depth, which is equal to 15. So the first object, we use the first object to assign the values. Now again we can use a second object name, that is the myBox2. Again we can assign the value for this width, height and depth. So for width we are given it as 3, for height we are given it as 6 and depth we are given it as 9. Now we are going to call the method which is being declared in the subclass. So the object name dot the method name. So you can see here myBox1 dot volume. Volume is the name of the method and myBox1 is the object. So first we are calling the method by using the first object, that is myBox1, and secondly we are again calling the same method by using the second object, that is myBox2 dot volume. So first when we are going to call the method by using the first object, the first three values, that is a 10, 20 and 15 will be multiplied and we will get the corresponding result. And we are going to call the method by using the second object. You can see the other three values, that is a 3, 6 and 9 which is being given over here. Those three values will be multiplied and you can able to get the volume. Now you can see in this particular output screenshot, again the compilation statement javac space program name.java and java space the program name. Here the program name is box demo 3. You can see that there are two volumes calculated. One is 3000 and another is 162. So as I said earlier, the first volume is for the first object, that is myBox1, and the second volume is for the second object, that is myBox2. So in the previous program we have seen how to create an object and how to create a method and how to call the particular method using the object name. Now next we see about the basic concepts of this object oriented programming. So object oriented programming is a programming language model around which the various actions or data are being surrounded. Can be characterized as the data controlling and access to the code. Now the various concepts of OOPS, that is object, class, inheritance, polymorphism and abstraction. Now we'll see one by one. First one is object. Object means a real world entity. So for example, a pen, chair or table, we can call it as an object. An entity means that is the state and the behavior of an object. That is what is called as an entity. Next one is the class. Class is the collection of objects. It is a logical entity. So it can also be defined as a blueprint in which you can able to create an individual object. The third one is inheritance. That is, it is a mechanism of acquiring all the properties and the behavior of one class to another. That means the child class will inherit the properties of its parent class. Next one is polymorphism. That is, when one task can be performed by different ways, that is what is called as polymorphism. So when you see this particular diagram, we have the shape, that is a method called as shape and draw, shape draw. And you can see other three methods, that is triangle, rectangle and the circle. It also uses the same method, that is the shape, but the various input values will be different. So this is what is called as polymorphism. Same method used in different parts of the program. Now this polymorphism can be classified into two ways. The first one is method overloading. Second one is method overriding. So method overloading means adding two or more arguments in the method, two or more different arguments that are being passed into the method. That is what is called as method overloading. And next one is method overriding. If the subclass or the child class is going to have the same method declared in the parent class, which is called as a method overriding, and this child class will run its method before its parent class. This is what is called as method overriding. Next is abstraction. It is a process of hiding the implementation details and showing only the functionality to the user. Now, for example, when you make a phone call, we no need to know about the internal processing. Just we need to know about we need to know how to dial. That is enough. That is what is called as abstraction. Then the next one is encapsulation. That is, it is a process of wrapping the code and data together inside a single unit. Now, for example, when you look into this diagram, so you have the class. Inside the class, we have the various components. First is the data, method, and we can also declare the variables. Then now we'll see about the access protection, or it is also called as access specifiers. So here there are four types, that is private, default, protected, and public. But when you use a keyword as private, the variables or method cannot be accessed outside the class. Default means it is can able to access it in any part of the program. Protected means it can be accessed only within the package. And public means it is open to all. You can access the methods, the variables, or the objects in any part of the program. The next is the static members. So static is an non-across modifier. Just you can have these various types of static members, that is the blocks, variables, methods, and nested classes. Now first we'll see about the static blocks. So we can able to use the static blocks with the help of, that is can create a separate static blocks. For example, you see this program. So first we have this class test. Then we have declared a static variable and you have assigned the value. And another static variable b. First is static variable a, which is equal to 10, and static variable b. Next comes the static block. Inside we have a print statement saying that the static blocks initialized. Then we have another statement, b is equal to a into 4. Then we have main method, and inside the main method there are three print statements. First statement says from main, second statement and third statement prints the value of a and b. So when we run this program, you can see the output which is given at the right hand side. So first the statement from main will get printed. Secondly, the value of a, which is equal to 10, the same value which is already given declared as b, printed. But for the value of b, so you can already see that is we are given inside the static block, that is b equal to a into 4. So when the value of a is 10, so automatically the value of b will be equal to 10 into 4, which is equal to 40. So this is what is called as static block, a separate block in which you can able to give the executable statements. So now next is the static variables. Again now when we are going to declare the variable using the keyword static, then it is called as a static variable. Now in this program, again we have this class name as use static, and you can see here we have declared the static variables. First is a, the value is 3, and simply next is the we have the static method also. And we have three print statements to print the values of x, a, and b. And we have a static block also, which is given here. Inside the static block, we have the print statements saying that the static blocks is initialized, and again b is equal to a into 4. And inside the main method, we are simply calling the method, and the value of x is being given as 42. So when you're going to run this program, we will get the output as given below. That is, the value of x is by default is given as 42. The value of a is, again it is given as 3 only. Then b is equal to a into 4. So a value of a is 3. So b will be 12. So this is what is called as static variables. Then we will see about the static methods. So when you declare a method using the keyword static, it is called as a static method. So when you use this keyword static, any objects which is being created inside the method cannot be accessed outside. That is the meaning of the static method. So again, we take this example program. We have a class called as static demo. There are two static variables, a and b. The values assigned are 42 and 99. We have a static method called as call me, and we have a print statement printing the value of a. So when you coming to the main method, that is static by name. The main method is static by name, and we have the main method, and inside the main method you are calling this particular static method. So static not calling the method. First we are creating the object using the class name static demo. That is, we are calling the method by using the class name, that is static demo dot call me. And in the last print statement, we are using this particular class name again to call the static variable b. So when we run this program, you can see that the value of a will be 42 and the value of b is 99. So you can see that we can able to call the static method only that is only by the static that is inside the class and not any other part of the program. So till now what we have seen is about the basic structure of a Java program, how to create a variable, how to create a method, basic structure of a Java program, and then followed by we have seen about the basic concepts of object-oriented programming, that is the abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, objects and classes, and then we went on to what is called as the static variables, static methods and static blocks. So remaining portions we will see it in the next class. Thank you.